Hey y'all, it's your boy Wise, and I'm here with my fam Wesley and Tori, and we are locked and loaded for another episode of the Triple Dose Podcast. Are y'all ready? Let's get into it. All right, we're gonna start this week off like we normally do with our first dose, our checkup segment. We just check in and see how everybody's been doing since the last time we were together. So go ahead and update the people on your life. What's going on?
Well, I guess I'll start. Nothing much been going on, but working. Obviously doing some other prep stuff behind the scenes and at home. Also, I've been trying to get some studying done. I'll talk about that a little bit at another time. But basically, I'm studying for another licensure. So, yeah, that's just a whole nother thing within itself. But yeah, for the most part, I can't complain. Last couple weeks, we just been working, trying to continue in the swing of things, and trying to plan for some additional things in the future. And so that's really about it. I really don't have much going on. How about y'all?
Busy as usual. I don't know if you guys' jobs do this, but like sometimes we'll have like mandates and PDs that require us to either watch videos and take quizzes and tests, or we'll have to like do some sort of deliverable and upload this, upload that. So I've had like quite a few of those due this last week. And so I actually had to bring work home because I'm like, I need a grade, which is like, I hate doing this, but every now and again I do end up bringing some work home. So good week, just a busy week at work, and looking forward to though some time off with fall break coming up pretty soon, and so definitely looking forward to that. I did make it to the gym this morning. During the week, it's just hard for me to go during the week, y'all. Like between my commute and then trying to cook dinner and getting home after an hour drive, I just don't have it in me. So Saturday and Sunday going to be the days I work out.
Yeah,
that's the best I can do. I'm gonna try to get back walking. I'm gonna try at least do a walk, after work some days. But it's been rough on that end. And then
that.
Only other thing I'm thinking about, I'm in the market to purchase a new blender. Our cousin Jamie has shared some shakes that she was doing for breakfast, and I really want to try some of those out. And so my blender had broken probably a year or two ago, and I just never replaced it. So if you see some deals or have any suggestions, please let me know. That way I can kind of get back on the horse with the diet. Well, I'm doing good on my diet, but just with the better breakfast. So that's what
I'm not.
What?
I said I'm not. I gotta get together, but I will say I was looking at the shakes that our cousin sent us too, because I was trying to think of like which ones I can do, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try some of these. I'm gonna probably try once we get back next week, but
so I was thinking
I wanted to try it because I have to try to do. This is the thing. I did the testing that told me all the stuff I'm not supposed to eat, right? Mm-hmm. Did I listen? No, not entirely. I've still been eating the things that I'm not supposed to eat. However, I got inspired because I was watching another TikTok, or not TikTok, an Instagram post of somebody that I follow, and she was saying how she did similar testing and how she really like cracked down and like listened to it, like she felt so much better. Her skin was much better. And she was able to like lose weight and stuff. So I was like, okay, I gotta quit playing. Like, So funny you say that about the shakes, because I was looking at that this morning, and I was just thinking like, I can't have no dairy in it. I can't have oats, granola, like all of that. I can't have that in my shakes. So I was trying to like, okay, what can I put in there to boost it to make me make it fuller longer? And there were some options, and I'm like, might have to try some dairy-free yogurt and stuff, but that's expensive. But anyhow, health is wealth.
I know, right? And I'm like, the thing that kind of turned me on to it was she's like, oh, I drink it at 8 o'clock or whatever, and I don't get hungry till 5. But I'm like, that's what I need. If I can drink a shake in the morning and be full all day, Yeah, so we'll see. I'm gonna try to. Hopefully by the next time we record our normal show, I'll have had tried it. I can report back and see how it goes.
What about you, Ice?
Well, I've been pretty good. Just handling life as it comes. I've been feeling a little off kilter the past couple of weeks, not really sure what's going on. So I decided that I needed something to look forward to. So I'm doing something I've never done. And I got my friend looped in, and we're going to run a 5K together at the end of October. So I have been thinking about that. I have not started training yet.
It's at the end of October. Okay.
Yeah, at the end of October. I got some new running shoes. I got to get some other things before I can actually get back out and start training. I want to run outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I like being out in nature and getting fresh air. That also really affects my mood. So that's something I'm trying to do. So I have to also adjust my diet and my exercise routine because I've been consistently going to the gym after work. I changed my schedule. Last 2 years or however long I've been going to the gym, I was doing it like going to the 5:30 class or the 6 o'clock class. And I decided that I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just go right after work, do my thing, and come home. That way I'm home for the night. And I do like that better. And so I've been doing that consistently. But now I have to loop in, running and preparing for this 5K, which I haven't quite figured out yet. So we're working on figuring that out. But yeah, that's kind of where I am. I'm looking forward to having a new experience and using it as an excuse to buy new stuff because that's just how I am. But yeah, I've been doing pretty good.
All right, then. Well, let's go ahead and get into our second dose, our talking points for the week. We had some hot topics and some things kind of come up in popular culture that we all wanted to discuss with you all, our fam bam. And one of the things that has happened last week, Cardi B dropped her sophomore album, Am I the Drama, last week after 7 years, right? Invasion of Privacy came out 7 years ago in 2018. I remember that album because I was living in Los Angeles at the time. And I just remember, all the songs that used to play, especially I like it. And hearing that in LA with the mix of that with, just in the clubs or whatever, in the parties, it was nice. And so people were really, really anticipating the album. We know that in the past 7 years, Cardi B has gone through a lot. She has been married and going through a divorce. She's mother of 3 children. She's pregnant with her 4th. We've seen her go to court, beat cases, sue people. She's had to cuss folks out for sleeping with her husband. There's been a lot going on with Cardi B. And so people were really anticipating this album. Furthermore, there was always, little rap beefs here and there where, people, other women in the industry have maybe said some things and a little back and forth on TikTok and not TikTok, but Twitter for sure. And Cardi is known for a good Twitter space rant as well. So people were anticipating the album. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a listen. So one day, I think I played it on my way to work. And I was pleasantly surprised. I really was. She has, I believe, 18 songs on the album, which is probably needed after 7-year absence, She has, in my opinion, a good mix of genre. Did you guys listen to the album? I'm not even sure if you guys listened or not.
I have not listened yet, okay. But I was planning to listen to it because I have a drive coming up. And I was like, maybe I'll just listen to that and a couple other somebody else I'm supposed to. Oh, Mariah Carey's too. But I wanted to listen. I was like, maybe I'll listen to that on my drive.
Did you listen, Mars?
I have not listened yet. It's on my list, but I've heard a lot of really good things about it. People really like it. I'm not surprised by that. Cardi usually makes pretty decent music. That's something that
she does good
pretty
features.
Consistent.
Yeah, I did like her first album too. So
And that was the end of my college days. I was living it up. I had a good time with that first album.
So I'll just name my favorites, and it's because my favorite song so far. So I like "Dead" with featuring Summer Walker. I like "Hello," Magnet, Imaginary Players, Bodega Baddie. I like "Pretty and Petty," Better Than You, Every Time, Check Please, and Trophies. I mean, and she has WAP outside and up on there, and those are singles that she had throughout the years. So I already, we're familiar with those 3 songs. But I mean, that's a good number of songs. Like I just like so far on the first few listens that I'm like, into. So there are two songs that have like really gotten like really popular, and the first one is called Magnet. And this song has a diss to a rapper. I'll play it and see if you guys can figure out which rapper she's talking about. Do you already know?
I think I already do, but go ahead.
Oh, okay, well, Tori says she doesn't know, so I'll play a little bit of a clip of it, and let's see if you can figure out who she's talking about.
Grateful ass bitch, I don't care, miss somebody gotta say it ass bitch, fake friend ass bitch, a clown ass bitch, on the net, kick your friend while she down ass bitch, your loyalty depends when you around ass bitch, backdoor hoe, hating on the low ass bitch, you a shady ass bitch, you been trash since birth, mama didn't want you, Brenda's baby ass bitch, still wagging ass bitch, bottom feeder ass bitch, all that dick riding still ain't get no feature ass bitch, she's just mad she got a nigga she be sharing bags with. My nigga cheap, but I don't stick no dildos in his ass, bitch. You look at
Oh my God.
I'm gonna just stop right there. I'm gonna just stop it there. Okay. So any guesses to who she's talking about?
Well, now that I think now I can see it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear.
Who you got?
It's giving JT.
It's JT.
It's giving JT.
And I stopped it. There's more that she says after that. I just didn't want to play the whole diss or whatever the case may be. So everybody heard that and was like, yo, like Cardi went in on JT. Like, what's going on? And so my thing was this. I'm waiting for JT to respond. What's JT gonna say? So the next day,
hop on the track.
like a day or two later,
on Twitter.
Yes, a day or two later, JT hops on Twitter and starts saying, making bisexual allegations toward Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs is a football player who is also dating Cardi B and the father of her fourth child. And so everybody is like, nah, JT, no. Don't go to Twitter. Get in that booth, okay?
Get in the booth. Put pen to paper.
The booth. Get in the booth.
I don't think the City Girls never gave, lyricists. I'm gonna get in the booth and write.
But let me say this: JT was the stronger lyrical out of the two.
She was a better rapper. I don't know if she was the better writer of lyrics.
I don't know what she wrote.
I didn't listen to.
I don't know what she wrote.
What was it called? Her mixtape, Cinderella something.
Don't give me the line. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, and I gave that a really good listen to. I didn't really care for it that much, but I think JT is a good rapper. Yeah, but I was kind of like, whoa, JT, for you to be on the Twitter streets now. People are saying though, because this beef or whatever between them, because basically people are saying that Cardi got on their song Twerk. They got their song Twerk something like that, and she did the feature for them. She was cool with Carisha and her. And then, when her and Nicki kind of fell out, JT kind of basically chose Nicki. And so kind of was like subbing her and things like that. And so that's what people are suggesting. But I heard that and I didn't know it was about JT. Like, I didn't know. I just had a first time list. I'm like, who's she talking about? And then when she said, when she said, your friend, kick your friend when she down, I said, oh, that sounds like JT. Then she said, Mama didn't want you, Brenda's baby, because I remember JT wasn't raised by her mama. Her dad raised her. So I'm like, oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and
I think her mama's in jail. Somebody had posted.
Carisha's
mom was.
Oh, that was
Carisha's mom was in jail, but JT was raised by her father. Her mama didn't raise her. And then, of course, the last line about sharing bags, and everybody know that she's with Lil Uzi Vert or whatever.
Which I just don't understand. Could you imagine? I just don't. It's just. Never mind. Go ahead.
So that was one of the songs that people were like really up about. So let me ask you this, just off that quick little 30-second. Is that how you feeling? You think it's a cute little bop?
I mean, it sounds cool. It sounds cool. I'm gonna give it a good go. A good listen.
This one more. It's one more. Diss. There's multiple. There's one that she did to Nicki. I think Nicki's in the beginning, but I'm gonna give the backstory of this because y'all not gonna know who she's talking about because y'all ain't gonna know this rapper.
Okay.
There's a rapper named Bia. You heard of Bia?
I feel like I heard of that person, but I don't know what I can't tell you what they sing.
She does the song with I put on my jewelry just to go to the bodega.
Okay.
That's her.
So apparently Bia, and I learned stuff about Bia I didn't know on this song. So apparently Bia had said some stuff about Culture, which is Cardi B's first daughter. And so she is responding to some negative things that Bia has said about Culture. Just like JT, she did do a remix to Very Freaky Girls. Bia was on it. And so again, people are feeling like, okay, you kind of just was kind of, D-Rod and Nicki, whatever the case may be. So I'm going to play a little bit of this diss from Bia. Bia is from Boston. That's going to be kind of important when you hear this. And apparently she's Italian. I didn't know that either.
Look, me boy, you Italian. I'm Cardi B, shorty. Who you wanna be, shorty? You from Boston? Let's have a little tea party. Why you got kicked out of that condo? Why you be online and be lying though? Why you always at Diddy house? I heard they come that little kitty out. Tell these folks what it's really about. Why you all on people's face with that shitty mouth? Diarrhea beer, breath so stank you can smell it when you see. I'm like, weave to the floor. I'm like, make it hate me even more. I'm like, hoes easy to ignore. It's been 2 years since you put a number on the board. I'm a bad bitch and you mad, cause you built like your dad. You damn near unemployed. They only book you when they can afford coy. Look,
I just stop it there. I didn't want to play the whole thing. So, yeah. So that was her.
She said her name. Ain't no sneak dissing.
No, she said her name all the way.
We're going to be direct.
She, in the beginning of the song, she called her a lap dog, and she just really went in on her as well.
Well, I guess if you come for my daughter, I got to go in for the...
And at the beginning of the song, she says, real quick, name 5 Bia songs, gun to your head. And then she said, oops, we did. So it's like, okay. So it was funny. It was pretty cute little shade or whatever. So I don't know if Bia's gonna get in the booth. I don't know if she's a rapper or not. But I just wanted to play. Those are like some of the 2 songs that were very, very popular this week. So Cardi did pretty good this week. She was projected to sell 125,000 or 100 to 150,000 records. She actually sold 205. So she sold more than she was projected. Her album is platinum because she already had Up, WAP, and Outside on there. And the last I checked, I want to say it was 14 million streams, I think.
Okay.
But it could be different by now. So if you haven't listened to Cardi, I would say give it a shot, give it a listen to.
I definitely plan to.
It's a good riding song, a good riding album for sure.
Cardi. Woo!
Well, I will definitely have to be checking it out here soon. Well, speaking of checking out new things, it looks like the second season of The Braxtons is going to be releasing soon on WeTV. As we know, Braxton Family Values was Tony and her sisters and her mother. And that show ended. And then in the interim, Sister Tracy passed away. And then they came back with The Braxtons, a new iteration of their show. Did you guys ever watch The Braxtons, the newer iteration of the show? I did not.
No, I did not.
I think I watched an episode or 2 and that was it.
Okay. I think I remember seeing some clips online, but I didn't really, it was nothing in there that was really catching my attention. But they released the trailer or a clip of some scenes from this season, and I think I might have to pop in a little bit and check it out and see what's going on. So why don't we go ahead and show the clip about what happened with the sisters?
All right.
With us. Well, you already know why I want to film with y'all. Wait a minute. Hold on. My niece Ashley, who we love very much, posted her videos on social media with some accusations about her family. My family was a little surprised. Well, there was a lot going on the internet. Tamar announced that she would be interviewing our niece Ashley on Tamar's podcast. I didn't think it was a good idea. I am getting Ashley here. You're not going to make me feel bad about that. I wanted her to come to a safe place to tell her story. And all of this happened right before we started shooting season 2 of The Braxtons. Next thing I know, y'all tried to shut down my entire business. Don't say y'all. Sending a cease and desist is shutting down my business. Exhibit B. The cease and desist. I got a cease and desist before Ashley was on my podcast. I didn't even say anything. I was not involved in any way, shape, or form of sending a cease and desist letter. My name was nowhere on it. Nobody wanted to come to my defense. So you're going to sit there and say, Tony Braxton? Tony Braxton, I got Tony Braxton. No, Tony Braxton ain't never had your back. I got Tony Braxton. I want to know record. You want to say I don't have your back? You didn't have my back when heavyweight don't put me, Tamar. Don't with Tony Braxton. And then when Tony said we need to have her on the show, I told you we need to have Ashley on the show. I never say that. Yes, I never said that. She's lying. Swear my mother. Don't swear your mother. I said just show her the Chiglin circuit, and we shouldn't do it. You said have her on the Braxton show. This is not the forum. You said that. This is not the forum. You said that. Don't you go there. Don't you go there. No.
Ooh, it's looking a little spicy if you ask me. So a little bit of backstory. I don't remember when this was, but I remember when it happened because it was all over the TikToks. Ashley Braxton, who at the time I believe was living overseas in Europe, she was estranged from her family, and she was, for whatever reason, felt the need to share her story after all these years. And she was alleging that when she was underage, she was spending time with an aunt and the aunt's family. The aunt was married and had children, and that she experienced some sexual assault, inappropriate behavior from the aunt's husband. And when she told what was her experience, she was basically ostracized. You know, the aunt was upset, saying that she was at fault, all of the things that could be the worst to happen when you tell somebody that happened to you. And so there was a lot of speculation about which aunt it was, because we see the aunts, it's the 5 aunts on a TV show. So who is it? Yeah. So people had their speculations about which aunt it was. And so apparently during that time or shortly thereafter, Tamar wanted to have Ashley on her podcast, and that's where we saw all the fallout from the show. Now, I was not aware that Tamar had a podcast. Was she talking about the show she was doing with that white man that she was with? Is that what she's talking about?
I don't know.
Question.
I feel like a lot of these celebrities be saying they do a podcast, but they do like 4 episodes a year.
Yeah, she pop in and pop out though. Yeah, okay. She'll do like pop in, pop out.
Well, anyway, what were your thoughts when y'all saw? Well, first of all, with the allegations, with the niece, and then apparently, what are your thoughts about Tamar wanting to bring the niece to her podcast? Because I don't know how I feel about that, and then also her alleging that Tony told her not to do the podcast and to wait to bring her on the big show on TV. Allegedly, that's what Tamar's alleging. I don't know.
It's so difficult, right? Because unfortunately, Tamar does not have the best reputation in the court of public opinion sometimes. However, Tony's reaction leads me to believe that maybe Tamar was telling the truth, because she reacted so aggressively.
Very defensive.
Very defensive. And so it makes me think that maybe in this situation, Tamar might be telling the truth. But I don't know.
So it's so hard to say.
It's hard
because Tamar never... when have we seen her tell the truth in public? Like,
right, but also if she did get a cease and desist, though, it's like...
Correct.
Somebody was trying to maybe, okay, Tamar, no, like let's do it on the show, but that buys me time to say no. Let's give her the cease and desist, actually, and then we're not gonna actually do the show. Like I don't know. It's hard to say with this family. That's probably partially why I don't think I can watch no more, because I think, and also I feel like this is a clip, so I feel like there was things chopped up too.
Yeah.
Because Tamar was trying to say when Tony questioned her about, I never was there for you. I never stood up for you or whatever. She was like, no, you didn't when, and she was about to say like a certain situation and it cuts out that part off. So I would be interested to know if that's going to be shown in the actual show or if it was completely cut off the editing floor. What did she say? You know what I mean? Because again, all these ladies are probably producers and stuff on the show, so they can probably have some input on what could be said and not said. So is it again, because Tamar in the past has talked about how she has this trauma, she's been victim of different things, people knew about things, and I'm like, I don't know. It's so hard to say who to believe in this situation.
And to that point too, it's like, they'll edit a certain scene a certain way. So like Tony's reaction looked aggressive and it looked like she was defensive, but she could have been reacting to something totally different.
Could have been
than what they said. You know what I mean?
Could have
So
been,
we really
could have
don't.
been. Yeah.
We really don't know.
You don't.
Exactly.
You're right.
Because to me, for her to even like she pushed that table and got up how she did, from what I saw that Tamar said, it didn't give to me that's the energy she should have met her with, because they could have just been arguing at the table. But again, as they chop stuff up, they say, so who knows what was said. Now, I do think I got another question, I guess, for you guys too, though, because I saw this clip and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Now there's speculation. So there was speculation that this whole incident with regards to Ashley was allegedly, supposedly Trina and Gabe's allegedly. Now that this popped out, now people are now saying, well, maybe it wasn't Trina and Gabe. Now people are alleging, was it somebody else? Like, was it Tawanda and her husband, or was it Tony and her previous husband? There's now speculation about who was it that Ashley was referring to. Now, Tamar agreed to have her on the show, so we know it wasn't Tamar in her situation. So out of all the sisters,
I guess I feel
there's
like
no way of knowing.
I feel like, but when Ashley made her video, why bring it up and not say who it is? What is the point? Like, I just feel like people do that a lot, where they will talk about something that has happened, like Christian Keys, for example. Like, get on the internet and say things that happen and don't put a name on it. And like Tokyo Vanity told Akbar V, put a name on it, ho. Like, just say what it was. Like, if that's what it is, just be like, okay.
I honestly feel like maybe she's holding on to a piece of her story because, one, it is her story. She gets to choose when and what she says and how she discloses things. But two, I think that her thought was, maybe I can get paid. Pay me for my pain. Almost like what Funky doesn't even be saying. Pay me for my pain. So whether that was I'm gonna be on the podcast and I'll get some notoriety or something, or I get to be on the Braxton show, whatever that means, like maybe she figured maybe I can get some sense of pay me for my pain before she just spills all the beans. I don't know, but that's just a thought.
I mean, I hear that, but it's just like from the way she was talking, she, like I said, she lived in Europe. She was estranged from her family in general. So it's like, why at that point, why bring this up and involve yourself in it if you were trying to distance yourself from all of them in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I think that she was but I think she was saying that she was the one who was ostracized. So not to say that she ran away, like they are the ones who ostracized her, but she didn't feel that was right. So anyhow, I want to say I did see a clip though recently where she had said that I think she's back in the States now, and she mentioned that because I don't think they've recorded the podcast, her and Tamar, but if they do, she said if they never do, she was saying that she was possibly going to still like tell her story, but she was waiting to see if that was going to occur. So I don't know, but I mean something shifty, somebody.
I just want to make it clear. I don't have a problem with a victim saying anything. I think you should be able to, like you said, Tori, it's their story. And speak your story, but I guess maybe in my mind I'm just like, okay, or just say who did it. But because if the person is still alive, because Gabe is not, even just to warn other people, like, oh, you might need to stay away from so and so. If it was Gabe, then it's kind of like, okay, maybe maybe why you wouldn't say anything because he can't hurt anybody anymore if that was the case. You know what I mean? But if it's somebody, one of the uncles who are still living, you might need to save somebody and say something to the people. I'm gonna say something. I don't know, but that family, because there was also allegations that her father was abusive, like physically abusive to them, and he got remarried or something like that, and something with a stepmom. So I'm just like, y'all make that family kind of. It looked like it was a lot of abuse going on. Tamar had some abuse happen to her on the Yana episode, and somebody brought it out to the producers, and that's why Tamar got really upset. And it just feel like that old school sweep it under the rug, don't talk about it, don't fix it kind of situation, don't get help. And it's just like they got a lot of work to do internally and maybe separately, maybe not with each other. Maybe like
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's why I was thinking like,
because I'm sorry, because I feel like they are insufferable. Like I feel like Tony is very, like you said, you effing with a heavyweight. Tony got this very grandiose personality idea about herself. Not saying she shouldn't have it, but I'm saying she shouldn't have it. And I just know that's about Tony. Even certain things she would even say on Braxton Family Values, or things she would do that she's above certain things. And girl, you've been bankrupt like everybody else. You done had money problems like everybody else. You've been divorced like everybody else. Then had abortions like everybody. Like you ain't, because you're famous. Tamar is very much so attention seeking. We'll put a story out for a little bit of a stunt in the show for some attention seeking. Tawanda gives me very much so sneaky vibes.
She did.
She give me sneaky vibes for real. Trina had her struggles, with her things. Tracy was very angry. And Mama E is very angry. I mean, too much. I don't see how she got friends. That's how angry she seemed. And so it's just like that. They got to do some work.
Yeah, and I think that's part of why I was like, I don't even want to watch this no more. It's not. It was fun. It was fun at one point. It was cute at one point. We loved each one for different reasons. Yeah. And then I feel like over the time, I don't know if it was the fame and the money that got to so many people's heads and situations, but true colors started to show, and it started to make me not care for certain individuals. And I was like, this is so sad to me, because it's like this black family, you love their music, you love the entertainment that they provide, but I don't like to see this the fighting and the bitterness between each other. It is, I know every family not perfect, but it's just like it's the same thing every time. Like I want to see them getting together, and I thought that maybe after Tracy passed, that would like bring them together or like change some things, but it doesn't appear to have done anything in that stretch. So that's why I was like, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably see the clips when they come out on the show and what the conversation is at that point, but I just don't know if I can commit to actually watching, because I just don't like to see that type of representation.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens if you catch the clips. I don't know. We'll see. The only thing I will say is that nobody was arguing if she was telling the truth or not.
They did,
and that tells you something. That tells you stuff right there. So,
Oh, can I say one more thing? And Trina said she had no part of the cease and desist.
So that makes me feel like it was Tawanda and Tony that did, possibly.
That's what she said. She just said I didn't have, my name was nowhere on it. I wasn't part of a cease and desist.
Well, I don't think anybody their names will be on it. That's the thing. I think the lawyers probably names will be on it. But
somebody has to initiate it. Like you can't just have a random person. I want you to stop talking about this. Like, no, somebody probably came and got the.
But I'm saying I don't know if it was an individual or an entity. Like maybe.
Well, it was probably a lawyer who's representing whoever.
Or the show, like. They probably have an attorney that represents their interests of the show, and they probably sent the cease and desist because they wanted to use the footage for the show. That's my thought process. Because if somebody's name is on it, why don't you just say who it was? It's clearly somebody. Their names are not on it.
So, but it was probably clear that one of the sisters initiated it with the network to say, hey, or their attorneys, we don't think this should come out, or I'm not filming, I'm not doing whatever.
Maybe that's why she brought the receipts, and she was like, y'all didn't want me to do it. So who was it? Maybe that's the whole setup of the situation.
Gotta see it.
Maybe we gotta see it. It's a lot of speculations, and we gotta see. When is this supposed to start?
They don't even. I didn't even see the thing in the clip. They didn't put it in there.
Oh. Well, speaking of just like, family dynamics and, trauma and issues and things like that, we got to circle back to our brother, Nick Cannon. And we've talked about Nick Cannon before on the show, and, the different decisions, not only just him, but other people, men in the entertainment industry have made decisions to kind of, have all these children, over here, over there, every which you wear. And how, we've talked about our feelings about that, how, we feel like it's kind of, inconsiderate of the child's feelings, and how you might be having trauma that continues through your children because of your actions, and you think it's nothing. We talked about all the things, Nick Cannon, and even how, he admits to having narcissistic personality disorder and things like that. He had that interview with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant where she was going in about some things about him. And so he was recently on The Breakfast Club, and he actually talks about his realization of, basically realizing that some of his actions were probably a trauma response. So let's go ahead and look at this clip.
Yeah, 100. Now I'm learning that now. Yeah, and it wasn't like I was acting out. It was more of being careless, being frivolous with my process because I could do it, because I had the money, because I had the access to whoever and however I wanted to move, and okay, they coming at me, they asking me, opposed to like doing the mature thing and saying, hey, well, it probably makes more sense to do this, and then obviously life happens as well. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go have 12 kids. It was more about like, yo, I'm gonna just live life and have fun, and whatever happens, I can handle it. When it probably, being almost 45 now, I can sit back and be like, yeah, if I would have thought the process through a little bit more and took time to actually do the inner work, things might have been a little different in certain scenarios.
You wouldn't have 12 kids.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing, because I've always said this, every child that I had was made out of love, and there were strong relationships. It's just, if I would have did the work and the healing after getting divorced, I probably would have took my time in a lot of other scenarios. And for whatever reason, I thought that was the answer a lot of times. It was like, oh, well, I'm gonna figure it out over here. Opposed to like, yo, now you're leaving trauma every step of the way, instead of, fixing it from its origin.
All right, so he went ahead and he explained, how he's learned about some things about himself and just the way he acted and moved after his divorce, which has resulted in a total of 12 children. So, what do you guys think about this clip? Did you hear about this, or what are you thinking about, his realizations?
I mean, I guess you come to it when you come to it. So congratulations, but I feel like the internet was saying this, and I feel like sometimes people there's like this attitude online about like people in the comments, they just hating, or they don't know what they're talking about, or blah 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 blah, and it's like sometimes I think that people have such ego that they don't want to hear what somebody has to say because it doesn't agree with what they're doing at the time. We've seen this happen with multiple celebrities in different situations where something happens in the public eye, and I'm thinking of a couple examples, and people are like, that's weird, or I don't know about that behavior that your boyfriend just did, or you having all these kids, something's strange about this, you might want to investigate this. And people, I'm just living my life, y'all the internet, y'all always got something to say, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. And then 6 months later, a couple years later, now I got narcissistic personality disorder and I shouldn't have had 12 kids. Oh, you know what? I ended up breaking up with that man anyway because he was abusing me anyway. Or whatever the case may be. And it's like, we tried to tell you. So, I think the part about it that kind of illuminated something important, I think, for us to take from this is that he said, I did it because I could. Yeah. And Wesley, you always talk about how like the rich men, they do certain things because they have access and because they can. And just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And I think this is a perfect example of that.
My question is, what are you going to do about it now? So you found out that you have narcissistic personality disorder 2 years ago. Nick Cannon is about 44, 45 years old. You have 12 children. So now that you know that you have haphazardly had 12 kids, what is your plan to try to reduce the amount of trauma? Because you can't stop the trauma. This is going to be trauma. So how are you going to reduce the trauma that these children are going to have with a very much so part-time father? I don't care about the money you got. You can't be 12 places at once. So I just want to know what his plan is going to be to try to rectify as best as he can. He talked about also in the interview that he has so he talked about having a good relationship with his baby mothers and with Mariah Carey, but Mariah Carey don't even want to speak about them. Anytime anybody asks her, she trying to change the subject. Not saying that means they have a bad relationship, but I just wonder, what does this look like now that you know your diagnosis and now that you are seemingly getting help and you realize that you have experienced trauma, which he keeps attributing, or one of the traumas he talks about is like the marriage. And I guess part of it is that he just didn't like how he felt like he was Mr. Mariah Carey. And I think that was hard for his ego, right? Like, and I guess that makes sense that he would have narcissistic personality disorder, because it's like, yeah, if everybody is, talking about Mariah. But I just wonder, I'm just curious to see what now that you know, how do you move differently? How do you raise your kids differently? What are how do you try to make things better in this? And what kind of conversations are you having with them about this? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch this whole interview, so I don't know if he addressed that piece or not. But what I will say is that, I think that I'm glad he was able to come to this realization, because I feel like it does set a precedent or example for some other men out there, whether they're going to pay attention or listen or not. But I just feel like there is a lot of guys out there who was on the train with him when he was doing all this stuff and talking crazy and agreeing with him and, whatever. And so I think that a lot of men who might be in his position or whatever, or even just watching and just like, clapping on all the other stuff before he came to this realization, I hope that it touched something in them, because the fact of the matter is many men who are in that position never realize it, or if they do, it's when it's too late, so it's kind of like for him to come to this realization, for him to be able to seek out help and to seek out the proper, therapy and counseling or whatever, and even acknowledge this, to me is a very great step. So if he's willing to kind of get to the bottom of these things, I was pray and hope that he'll be willing to do what he needs to do as a father to try to help mitigate or reduce the trauma that he may have already, put on his children. So my only hope is that he continues down that new journey and maybe, like I said, influence some other people, because a lot of people in those comments were the ones talking about how, oh, well, you just got enough money, he can do whatever, he got enough money, and everybody thinks it's money is enough. But a lot of times we see those stories of these people who rich and got kids and they're estranged, or their kids not around, or whatever's going on. So it's not just about money, so I just hope that, all I can say is I hope that maybe he truly is changing for the better and for his kids, and maybe influence some other people to make the right choices, because Lord knows we got enough trauma alone just being Black in America. So good luck to that man.
Well, speaking of trauma, we've talked on the show about how our traumatic experiences dealing with Ticketmaster, trying to get tickets to see Beyonce, right? Some good news. In this world with all the shenanigans going on, we need some good news. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, is suing Live Nation and Ticketmaster for engaging in illegal ticket resale tactics and deceiving artists and consumers about price and ticket limits. The agency alleges that Ticketmaster used deceptive pricing tactics and earned hundreds of millions selling tickets acquired illegally by brokers, costing consumers billions of dollars in inflated prices and additional fees. The Federal Trade Commission and 7 states sued Live Nation and Ticketmaster for tactically coordinating with brokers and allowing them to harvest millions of dollars worth of tickets in the primary market. The Live Nation Ticketmaster then sell the illegally harvested tickets at a substantial markup in the secondary market, causing consumers to pay significantly more than the face value of the ticket. We knew this was happening. And we had even talked about on our last situation that we felt like some of these resale companies were even being owned by Ticketmaster. And it's coming out that that's exactly the case. What were your thoughts when y'all heard about this? I was excited because people recently tickets got released for Ariana Grande. She's going on tour in 2026 also, and there was people having a lot of shenanigans with that. And I'm just like, it again brought up this conversation of, you know, when these big stars go on tour, of all the shenanigans that you have to go through to get a ticket, and the ticket already is marked up, and then you got all these fees per ticket. I mean, it's almost $100 of fees per ticket when you're going to a big box show like this. And so, you know, I'm glad to see that something like this is finally coming to fruition. What was y'all thoughts?
It's about time. It's about time. I'm hoping though that, because anytime we deal with the government, you know, you got to be nervous a little bit. So I'm hoping that the government is actually doing this for the people, and that there's not some sort of sneaky behind the scenes thing that's going to
not make class action.
Yeah, that's not gonna make it better. But yeah, they do need to have a class action. We do need some money because we've purchased a lot of tickets through Ticketmaster over the years, and excuse me, it's ridiculous. So it's about time that someone says something.
Same. I mean, I can't really say nothing more. Like I said, it just needs to be a class action because the stress, and not even just that, because I want to add on to the lawsuit because on top of all that stuff you just named, they have issues with their website and trying to say certain seats ain't available.
Mm-hmm.
And
well,
then that gets
part of the tactics.
And so when you think it's not that seat is no longer available, then you end up going somewhere to find another seat somewhere that's probably more expensive as well. So I feel like they need to do checks on that.
Yeah.
Add that to the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And they need some competition. We can't just have this one company be the holder of tickets for, you know, we need like
it's too late.
I know, but
there's no competitor that's going to be able to compete at this point.
I know.
You know, it's crazy because somebody had posted a ticket. They went to a Michael Jackson ticket from like 1985 or something. And the ticket was like $85, $75. I'm like, could you imagine going to see Michael Jackson for less than $100? Like if he was alive today, them tickets would not be less than $1,000. But the CEO of Live Nation and Ticketmaster was asked about this lawsuit and the rising cost of attending concerts, and this is what he had to say. I'm gonna just play the clip real quick.
Music is a better business though than selling tickets for sports, I assume.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. I mean, you know, I think music has been underappreciated. You know, I always joke, sports, it's like a badge of honor to spend $70,000 for a Knicks courtside. They beat me up if we charge $800 for Beyonce, right? I mean, you know, so it's we have a lot of runway left, right? So when you read about the ticket prices going up, it's still average concert price is $72. Try going to a Laker game for that, and there's 80 of them or whatever the hell. So the concert is underpriced, has been for a long time.
Is that Michael? Is that Michael? They have his name on there?
I don't know what his name is. Hold on.
Okay, I'm gonna
it's
say
in the other article. His name is Rapinoe. Something Rapinoe.
Yeah, that's Michael.
Rapinoe, yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh, this is my thing about Michael. Michael earned his total compensation in 2023. I just did a quick Google, was close to $33 million. So yes, Michael, for you as a person who earns $33 million in a year,
right?
You don't have a true understanding. Your scope of what it is to live in this country and make money and pay bills is off. And so what you just said is totally irrelevant. Because you are out of touch.
Completely.
You're completely out of touch.
Because who is it a badge of honor for to pay $70,000 to see the Knicks?
People ain't seeing it.
Average a person in America couldn't afford nowhere near that. So that tells me what circles you run in.
And he's also comparing apples to oranges. Yeah. Football, basketball, baseball, all those are sports that have seasons long games and events. When you have a concert, they go on tour for just whatever, if it's a couple months or whatever, they're going for one night in various cities. Whether you have teams that are housed in these locations, they may have several home games in just a season, and they do that every freaking year. Beyonce don't go on concert every year. Jay-Z, whoever, they don't go on go on concert every
Well,
single
yeah.
year, and they're not at those same stadiums for the whole time that they have a concert. They might be in that city for a night or 2 or 3, and then they're on to the next one. So it's, again, you're comparing apples to oranges. That's not the same comparison. But also, too, yes, highly out of touch, because these people who are going to the concerts and stuff are not people who can afford 70 racks
Two totally
on
different
a
people.
courtside season ticket somewhere.
Mhm.
That's not how this thing works. It's like, it's totally different. Y'all are just greedy. Y'all are just greedy suckers. Like, that's all that it is.
And that's why I'm glad they're getting sued, because these are the people that's running these companies. And I bet you that his salary is not uncommon for any big corporation.
Oh, no.
These CEOs, the people that's making decisions about how much we pay and how much we get for our dollar, is making way more than we can ever even imagine. And they still think they're doing us a favor.
And if I was wealthy and I was one of those people like Spike Lee who gets those season pass courtside seats, and hearing him just say that it's a badge of honor to spend $70,000, I would stop doing it. At some point, you got to put your foot down. You giving him money and you making him rich off his 33. When was the last time you made $33 million in 1 year? Nah, ain't no way.
And then they're also getting money off of all the different vendors and the people that are inside these stadiums and stuff too. Like, don't get it twisted. These stadiums is making money too. Everybody got their money that they making, because when we go there, it's $20 for a lemonade. Like, everybody. So it's just like, again, apples to oranges. And I'm hoping they sue the brakes off of them. And I'm hoping they look into this daggone
dynamic pricing.
Yes, the dynamic pricing and how these seats want to show up, not show up, how the app keep glitching every time you're trying to buy tickets, so it gives you a sense of, I need to hurry up and just get this purchase made because everything's going. All of that, I feel like it's emotional distress. I think
and the resale process.
Trauma, resale, you getting feeds on both end, the back end and the front end. When you do a resale, when y'all ain't did nothing but click a button in the computer, you ain't had a person to do nothing, but I gotta pay a fee each time both ways. Get out of here. Then you want to set a limit or a minimum to what people can sell their ticket for. So, like, for instance, when we had a situation where somebody had to get their tickets resold, they couldn't even put the price down so they could just at least recoup half of what they would have missed out on, because then Ticketmasters want to say, oh no, you can't resell your ticket for less than this amount of money.
But it ain't no max.
But it's not.
It's not a max.
So how can you limit me if I'd rather see if I can recoup half of my money versus none of my money, but now I can't even have the opportunity because you limit how much I can put it on there for. And so now I can get nothing and nobody can get the seat. And it's just like stupid. Like, it's just very, very dumb. So, and the thing about it is they have sometimes different rules depending on what country you live in.
That's
another thing that is an issue. America is greedy.
It's possible. It's what we're asking for. It's possible because it's done in other places. That's the point that I was about to make too. And in Canada, the tickets, the fees is all included in the price, and they have caps on how much you can resell the stuff for. So what we're asking for is not unreasonable. It's done in other countries, but they're allowed to exploit us here in America for capitalistic advancement for themselves. And so that's what they do because they're allowed to. But in other places, they're not. So yeah, we're going to have to get it together. Go and get it together for Beyonce do this Act 3 tour. It better be right.
Well, real quick, speaking of getting it together, this past week, there was a lot going on in society. And, you know, a part of that was, you know, about you being make sure you're ready and that you are prepared to go up yonder to the pearly gates, because we were supposed to get raptured up on last Tuesday. We were supposed to get.
Says who?
It was a lot of people.
We were supposed to go up. We were supposed to be going up yonder on Tuesday, September 23rd. Apparently, that's what the streets was saying. Okay, so what I will say is that I heard about this literally, I think Sunday. We had a cousins chat and we were talking about it, and I think Wise brought it up, and that this is all these communities and people. Apparently, they were saying some guy named Brother Joshua or something had like this. I don't know if he had a prophetic vision dream or something that told him that this rapture was going to be on Tuesday. So there was people who were selling their cars, selling their houses, and getting their things away. And
they said one girl gave her kids some CPS.
I cannot
give your kids some CPS for the rapture.
I guess she felt like her kids wasn't going to be up there with her. And then they were selling belongings and doing all these different things because they was prepared to go up yonder. Now, I saw a clip of a lady and she was dropping her baby off to school on Rapture Day. And she was just like, okay, baby, I love you. And, basically letting her know, like, we posted, I'll see you on the other side, and I was just thinking to myself, like, if it was Rapture Day, why would you sing a baby to school? You just dropped her off to school and told her, like, what, why would you want to be with your child? Like, if you knew that it was going to come and like, anyhow. So, I'm not making fun of, I'm not mocking, Jesus or anything, because he never told us.
To do with him. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying I don't want to don't get it misconstrued or twisted, because I know I'm not no scholar, but I know that the Bible did say no man knows the day or the hour. So we already kind of, if you read a little bit, you would know that when that person came out with this date, that they was lying through the teeth. And it just sounded like it was real cult like, they might have been wrapped up in some cult or something. It's giving cult like at this point. But I just thought it was kind of hilarious, and I was just seeing all the different people talk about it, and us, we can't never keep taking them serious, making jokes and stuff about it, and so I just wanted to bring that up to see if y'all saw all the commotion and what y'all thoughts were about us missing up on the Rapture last Tuesday. That didn't happen.
I'm just curious about what all the people gonna do now, like how you look now, because people was all over the internet, all over TikTok, saying Jehovah's Return is coming on Tuesday, and we still here. So what now? When you said that you had this word from whoever, how you looking now? I mean, I just feel like that's just, you gotta feel stupid.
People gotta stop lying on God. They just have to stop lying on God like this. Like, just stop. Just stop it.
It ain't gonna stop.
The thing about it is, a lot of the people really believe this though, and I'm like, what? Like, this is why they.
So what's selling your house? What's selling your house gonna do?
I don't know
what gonna do. Like, how's that? You're not gonna need it in heaven. Right. So what's the point of doing all that?
Have you ever heard of this term I've been seeing on TikTok? Now I have to do some research, but I really don't believe that it's it could be a TikTok made up therapeutic term. There's a lot of made up stuff on the internet anyways. Religious psychosis. Like, have you ever heard of that term?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, a lot of this I feel like I could attribute to some form of psychosis. And for some people, I'm not gonna say, all everybody, but I'll be seeing a lot of things on these nets, and I can think, and it just reminds me, like, people sometimes just be in psychosis. I mean, I don't know, like, it don't make sense, because certain things, you can't rationalize the decision making. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know. But yeah, I just feel like, people out here, y'all got to be careful who y'all listening to. Be careful who y'all, putting y'all trust in. How about you just try to just have a relationship with God, read your word, and study. And I'm trying to do better. I ain't no perfect. I'm trying to do better every day. But like I said, I ain't no scholar, but I do know that it did say nobody gonna know the day or the hour. So you just got to do right. You just got to be ready. Like they say, be ready.
Stay ready, even gotta get ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Well, that wraps up our second dose talking points. Be sure to join in on our talking points with us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Triple Dose Pod. And we're going to go into our next segment. This or that.
This or that segment, our open forum to close out the show. A little lighthearted, funny, to get to know us better. I don't know if we've done this before, and if we did, it's been a long time, so I just decided to bring it back. I was thinking that we could have a conversation about certain shows that we grew up watching, and have a conversation about which characters either do you feel like we would be friends with, and or who do you feel like you are most like. And then maybe if there's some ones that you're like, oh, not that one, we could talk about why, okay? So I have 6. So we don't have to do all 6 of them though. So my first thought was Different World. So I've been watching Cinepals, and Cinepals does their reviews of certain shows, and I think they just wrapped up season 2 of A Different World. And so it got me to thinking, okay, if I went to Hillman, who would I be hanging with? Who would I hope my friends would be? Or who do I feel like I'm most like? So I'll ask you guys first, if you were Hillman students, who would you think you'll be like hanging out with at Hillman, and who from a different world, and who are you most like?
I've been watching that too. Been watching.
Yeah.
I love A Different World. It's one of my favorite shows. Who would I be friends with? I mean, I would want to be friends with all of them. The whole gang, the whole crew. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so then who are you most like?
Yeah.
Who am I most like? I'm trying to think of who I was in college. I was a little less like high strung than Kim Reese. Like, I wasn't as stringent as her. So I'm thinking like I might be most like Jaleesa. Like, she took school seriously.
Yeah.
But she also like had fun. I don't know.
I feel like it's hard to say with these shows we like because we're gonna want to be cool with everybody. Who would I be friends with, or who are am I?
I feel like I would want to be close to Whitley too, because I feel like you would get perks of being friends with somebody who has like access and money. So, you know, she knows a lot of rich people. You know, you might be able to schmooze and make something shake. You know.
Okay. I think for me, I would. You said which character would you be friends with? I feel like again, everybody. I can't. I think I could be cool with everybody.
Okay.
Who would I be most like? You know, I was kind of. Now, what makes you say that? You just assign me. What do you think? What qualities do you see in Freddie that you see in me? How about that? Well, that's a good question.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Just like like go with the flow.
Okay.
That's a better question. You should just tell us which character you think we would be more like.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Well, I want to answer my original question. Hold on.
Okay. Well,
I'll answer both. I definitely will be hanging with Winifred Brooks. I feel like me and Freddie would get along well. She's just so easygoing. I also think I'm more like, probably like why I said, I'm like Jaleesa. I was a very serious student in college. Like I was a very, very serious student. I took my academics very seriously when I was in school. So I definitely feel like I can see a little bit of Kim in me too, because I don't even think I did get B's, but not that many. In terms of who I think I'm most like, I'm sorry, who I want to be friends with. Oh, I said that Winifred would be my friend. I think I'm most like Jaleesa. So for Wise, I would say, I think you were accurate with Kim. I mean, I think you're accurate with Jaleesa Wise as well. You were a little dingy though, so we gotta put a little bit of Winifred in there, just a little bit. You're a little dingy. Tori, I'm gonna say you are a mix between Gina and
say a little bit of Gina.
And probably I would say I see Gina, I see a little bit of Ron, and I see a little bit of Jaleesa and Tori.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because Ron was like a creative, and he like kind of, did his own little thing eventually,
I could see that. I could see that. I was gonna say, because I didn't answer for myself really about the whole who would I be most like. I feel like because they all had these different things going on. I think academically, I feel like I would probably be more like Jaleesa and Gina, because Gina still did her stuff. You know what I mean?
They all did
their stuff, but I think she just is a little bit more, I don't know. I didn't do too much playing, whatever. And then I feel like personality wise, I can see all the ones you name. I will give myself a little bit of Freddie too, though. I would just add that because I feel like I do be a little dingy. So I can agree with that.
This one might be, I don't know if this is a good one or not because it's kind of weird, but I was, okay. Martin, on a show Martin, who would you be friends with? Because I wouldn't be friends with Martin. Like,
I couldn't be friends with Martin either.
I would not be friends. Like, I know I wouldn't.
That's hilarious.
He was irritated. I could not be his
so
friend.
Yeah,
irritating.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, I know.
But Cole, I couldn't do Cole either.
I was about to say.
I'm sorry, like Cole is just a little too slow for me,
He's too
and
slow for me.
I need you in the bind, and I can't.
I feel like the only person I could be friends with is Tommy and Pam. I wouldn't even be friends with Gina because the fact that Gina put up with the shit Martin was doing, I couldn't be her friend. Like, girl, you was too good for him. Like, you do all of this for this man.
I'm gonna say I would be Shanae's friend though, because
I'll be Shanae's friend.
I would be Shanae's friend.
I'll be Shanae's friend for sure. I would be Cole's friend. He wouldn't be a friend that I would utilize for like, you know, something too serious. I feel like he was dependable. He tried.
Oh yeah.
Cole would be a good work friend.
Yeah.
Cole could be like somebody you talk to and laugh with at work.
And probably Tommy and Pam, sure. Gina.
I couldn't do Gina.
Would I be friends with Gina?
I don't want to hear about Martin and his shenanigans. Hear her complaining to you about the dumb stuff he did, but then you taking him back. Like, girl, no, I can't. I'll be irritated.
I would be Gina friend. I mean, it is, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would be friends with pretty much everybody. Martin, I mean, he's another person that would just get on your nerves, but I feel like he wouldn't be like I don't know. I feel like I could be cool with him, but it's not like you have levels to friendship.
Martin,
he'll be the one that you could be like, okay, he's cool. We can go to a party or something like that, or but
no, because he can have you get into a fight and
Martin Malphus like,
go to jail and getting arrested.
You would be getting into it. Like, who you talking to? Who you kicking out? Once you kick me out one time, I ain't coming back. Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, I ain't going to be over his house. I'm saying we go somewhere.
Who are you most like? Who do you think we're most like?
This is hard.
That's a hard one.
On Martin, I'm probably, when it comes to career and stuff, I probably was like Gina. Like, she was really about her career. She moved up. She was educated. So I was probably more like her, but I'm not like her in relationships or like friends. Well, she was a good friend though, but I wasn't like, I wouldn't be like her, like relationship wise.
Yeah.
I think career wise, yeah.
I feel like I'm probably Pam. I gotta, like job and stuff, but I'm not super.
It's like she go to work, but it's not like it's her life. She don't, she. I think that's what I was gonna say, like about Pam. Like, she kept a job, she kept her stuff together, but she didn't appear as if that's her only focus, that's her only goal, that's her only thing. She was out here trying to do her thing, find love.
I am habitually single. So that tracks.
So I'm like, but she was open to dating, open to having a good time, having fun. So I think I would have to say Pam in that regard too. Just yeah.
Okay. Let's take it to Los Angeles. Let's go to Moesha. Who are you friends with on the cast of Moesha? Who are you most like? Who you hanging on Moesha?
I'm not Moesha's friend.
I'm not Moesha's friend either.
Because Moesha
was friend.
She was not a best kind of friend. I don't know. I was probably gonna be more of a Niecy or Niecy.
I don't know about
no.
Kim on
it was
Parker's
different.
and Kim on it was different. She was different. So maybe I could be friends with Kim. I could be friends with Kim. Kim would have been a good time on Moesha. Yeah.
But yeah,
probably Kim and Niecy. But then I would have had to be friends with Moesha.
Yeah, but
are you like Moesha?
No.
Well, let's slow down. She had some traits that we didn't like, but there were some things that she did like. Yeah. She kept a man. She kept.
She did. She always had somebody.
She she had her creative side. She was wanted to be independent. She had aspirations. She went to school, college. And she kind of was like, I want what I want. She was not willing to settle.
And that's something that I think I can agree with. That I relate to her. Like, I think of the episode when she was mad that her dad bought her a Saturn and she was stripping. But it's like, you want what you want. So I could see myself being like, I have that trait about myself. I can admit that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not hanging with Miles. I'm not hanging with Dorian.
Of course.
Heck no. Definitely wouldn't be hanging with Dorian.
I don't know at all.
What about Hakeem?
I like Hakeem. I think Hakeem had he was cool. He was funny. Tiffany, and I think that he'd be a good person to hang around with. I would not hang around Q. I would not be able to do that one. I had too much going on. But yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it would be me, Hakeem, Niecy, and Kim.
That would be fun.
And then hi and bye to Moesha. You know,
every now and again we see little Moesha.
Every now and again, you know, I'll hang out with Moesha, but I wouldn't be able to do her all day. Want to do one more?
Yeah,
sure. Trying to think what I should do. Okay, so y'all want to do like newer or older?
No, let's do newer since you did a couple older shows.
Okay, so then let's do Insecure.
I knew you was gonna do that.
I
can go first. I can say right now. I ain't hanging with Issa. I ain't hanging with Tiffany.
You ain't Issa friend, Tiffany
no,
friend, or
me and Kelly is cool, and I can actually do Molly a little bit, but not too much. But I can hang with her. I can hang with Lawrence, and I can also hang with Ahmad. Not Ahmad. What's her brother name? Was it Ahmad? You sure? He was funny, but
what about Lawrence's friend? I can't think of his name.
No, I can't do a boy. I can't do Tiffany's husband either. So it's Kelly, Wesley Kelly, and Lawrence. I can hang with Daniel. I can't do Issa is too. I just.
I think I could be friends with Kelly for sure. Tiffany, I don't know. I'm like maybe. I think I could be friends with Issa, but we would have to be like a different kind of friend. Like I couldn't be best friends. Like I couldn't be Molly. Like I could be cool with her, but like we're not about to be. I couldn't be Molly. And Molly, I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah, because they both got on my nerves.
They both got their ways. So like I could be cool with them, but I don't know if I could be their best friend, like the go-to person for them.
That's fair.
Dang, that's kind of hard. Well, who do you think you most like?
That's the hard part. I'm trying to think who am I most.
I feel like I could be friends too, like I said, because I said sometimes it's levels to friends. Like I think I could be friends with everybody for the most part. It's just like who would I be the most probably close or best friend with? It's giving Kelly. She was the most. I feel like non-judgmental. She was kind of like
rounded out,
but she was well-rounded though. She was like she wasn't gonna keep hit you with like let you just BS around or like you make a poor decision and just be like no whatever. Like she still like tried to hold you accountable, but like do it in a way of like I'm gonna help you out. I'm here. I'm your girl. You know whatever. But have a fun time.
Have a good time still.
Still have fun and have a good time. So
and not like hold the help against you. You know, like I feel like no shade. Molly was cool, but like I feel like she would keep track of the stuff that she did for you. You know, I don't know
because she had to do so damn much for Issa.
Well, I
got to do, girl.
But that's your friend, so like you shouldn't be, you know.
If it's like a thing of a habitual thing, and you feeling like you give, and you never feel like your friend gives to you, then that's a different situation.
I think what it was for me about Issa, and people love, and I love the show, and I love the character, but Issa was just irresponsible too much for me, and I guess I feel like maybe because I'm the oldest. I don't know. I never felt like I was able to be irresponsible in my life. So I feel like the way I which I was raised, I never felt like that was even an option to be irresponsible. I always had to make very calculated decisions and careful decisions throughout my life. And so to see somebody be so careless about this career, relationship, and just like it would drive me mad. So I think we could be cool, like, but not make you say the best of friends.
It's hard. It's hard to say who I feel like I would be most like, though.
Well, are you gonna say yourself or each other?
Well, okay, you can do each other, I guess, if you want, because I'm having a hard time. But go ahead.
Well, I feel like Wesley gives Molly.
What aspect? In what capacity?
I see your face.
In what capacity? I'm scared.
I don't know. I just feel like you.
Molly, I think Molly has a solution for a lot of things for everybody else.
True.
And
I think she also takes on things from other people. So I feel like
that she don't have to take on.
Yeah. Or things like weigh on her more that involve other people. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's like in some situations, Issa maybe didn't ask her to do certain things or ask her to, you know, and it's like she just took the initiative and then was upset if Nisha wasn't, Issa didn't appreciate or whatever. So it's kind of like, not saying this is what you do, but I'm just saying like, I can see some similarities in the fact of like, just feeling the sense of like, I can do this for you or help you in this way or whatever.
I can see that.
What else you thinking?
I'm trying to think about Tori. I feel like you give Kelly. I feel like you give Kelly.
Okay. What you think?
You know how to have a good time, but also like again, like well-rounded, knows about life. But you know, knows how to laugh and stuff. So
I would say, I think Wise, you give me a little Tiffany. Maybe, yeah, like I think you give me you give me a little Tiffany. I'm trying to verbalize the why of it all. I think just the way you were raised a little different from me and Tori a little bit. So I think just like your experience a little bit would lend itself to a little bit of a tiff situation.
I don't think it's that different. But okay.
Okay, we can agree to disagree.
It was 10 years of my life before you got here. So I think that's one aspect of it. Tiffany is good. I think she was a good character. She meant well, and she wasn't like, you know, clearly she had good qualities as a person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she just, you know, I don't know. She lived a certain life, you could tell.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can tell that they didn't grow up the same. They didn't.
Yeah.
Their friends just it's almost like, how did they find her in his
But
group?
the thing about it is they still found each other. So even though she grew up a certain probably a way, she didn't feel like she was better than or too good to be friends with the Molly or the Kelly or the Issa. So although you might have grown up differently than me and Tori, you still are down with the get down. If that makes any sense. Tori, you give me a little Kelly, a little Issa. A little bit of both. Yeah.
Okay.
You give me a little both.
Okay.
Well, I just want to, see, I was thinking about it as I was watching Cinepals. I'm wondering, like, okay, what characters will we be into? And I have many others. Maybe another day we can do it, down the line. We can do it again with some of the other shows and movies that we love to watch. But this will wrap up our episode of the Triple Dose Podcast. Please reach out to us on our socials at Triple Dose Pod. Comment, subscribe, let us know if there are any topics you want us to discuss, and we will be sure to see you next time.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.